Hey guys, welcome back to your episode of Nicocast. I'm here with ANTHPO. So tell us about yourself.
Oh, thank you. So I am a 19-year-old college student. I've been making videos on the internet for about 5 years now, so it's been quite a long ride. When I was, around like 14, 15, I started making videos on Instagram and kind of YouTube. Freshman year of high school, I uploaded probably like 200 videos, just willy-nilly, just whatever I wanted. It's slowly evolved into, the cool things I've done today. I was a part of an internet sketch comedy show on Instagram. I have my personal brand on YouTube, which has been doing really well. And
Yes,
then,
really well.
thank you. And then more recently, I was in the house nobody asked for. It was me and my friends just in a TikTok house. I'm not a TikToker by any means, but I lived through it all and did a lot to contribute, and it was very fun. And right now I'm living with two of them, and some of the other people live, really close by. So it's kind of like we're still together, but we're done with the house somebody asked for. And that leads me to today, where I am being interviewed by you.
Very cool. So, who was your main inspiration for starting YouTube?
It's tough because I watched so much YouTube as a kid, so it's hard to like pinpoint
Same.
like one specific person. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of us have been there. But I would say in terms of just like holistically who has like done the most for like me as a content creator, probably Niga. I think because he's been making consistently great content for the 10 years he's been on the platform. He was
Yeah.
also the first YouTube video I ever watched was from him. So it's hard to say anybody else, I guess. But I mean, I've watched so much YouTube. People like Jack's Films. He was a pretty big inspiration. Filthy Frank, that was like the first YouTube channel I watched that like surprised me. I was like, wow, you can do things other than play Minecraft on YouTube. This is crazy. But yeah, I'd say those three are probably up there.
Yeah. So we started on the same time YouTube. I started 6 years ago, which is insane. Like I was so young. I was turning 6.
Wow.
And my inspirations were Minecraft YouTubers, like Stampy, Ballistic Squid, DanTM, and
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Nicocast, but he was an inspiration. But I definitely loved his videos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I remember like I feel like there's always like a generation of Minecraft YouTubers that are just always there for you. Like no matter
Yeah,
like what age, like there's always like a group of them, and that's really great. Yeah, Stampy was I like just missed Stampy, but I've seen his stuff. It's good stuff.
yeah, because there was like an age group for Stampy, another age group for like Team Crafted, and then like
Yeah.
those other groups. So how do you come up with your skit ideas? Because that's the main thing you do on your YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I didn't used to do skits. Back when I first started, I would do like I guess like social experiments, kind of. I mean, it's hard to describe them, but like I would like go to school and do something stupid and just like record it and edit it kind of funny.
Like the Playtapus video you did
Yeah,
going to
like
school.
yeah. That's what I'm known for the most, which is kind of sad. Like it's a funny video, but like I can do so much more. Anyways, but so normally what it is like I ask myself a lot of questions. So like I'll watch a YouTube video and then I'll go like, oh, what if blank? Or like I'll see an object in real life and I'll go like, oh, like what if blank? I think just like all creative people ask themselves a lot of questions because I think at the heart of creation is just like problem solving, right? So if you have a question, it's like, how do you solve it? It sounds a
Yeah.
little convoluted, but that's kind of what I'll do is like, I'll just see stuff and be like, oh, like what if I did this? Or like, what if I did that? And then I write it down on my
Mhm.
phone. And then I have a Notion page, which is like a way to
Same. I use
organize.
Notion too.
Use Notion? Wow, holy crap. You're like way ahead of the game. I
Yeah.
didn't start till I was like 17.
I actually have your notes written in Notion.
No way. You're crazy. Man, you're so far ahead of the time. That's crazy. Yeah, Notion. So that's where I'll like
Yeah.
write everything out, and then like inside each page, I'll have like the script and like any notes, things I have to buy, yada yada. And then I'll just go out, shoot it, and edit it for hours and hours.
That's a very cool way of coming up with ideas. I don't think any of the people I've interviewed, that's the way they come up with their ideas. It's very different from mine because mine just come from like, because a lot of YouTubers have like a certain time for brainstorming, and I just like get the ideas when I'm watching other YouTubers, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
very different way from how I get my ideas, and I know a lot of different YouTubers.
Right. Yeah.
So, in your tell us about yourself, you said that you were part of a TikTok house. So, how did you meet those members?
So it's a really weird story. So I saw Wahoni's TikTok a year and a half ago, just like a random TikTok of his, and it was like the first TikTok that had like ever made me laugh, because it was like when TikTok was like terrible and like everyone was just on it to like make fun of TikTok. And I was like, dude, like you're way too good to be on TikTok right now. Like you got to get off TikTok and like do YouTube. And then I was like a YouTuber, so he was like, wow, no way, like a YouTuber reaching out is so cool. We became friends. I helped him figure out YouTube. Like I'd go through his thumbnails and metadata and just try to fix everything for him. And then that blew up for him. I'd like to think partially because of me, but obviously he's a great creator.
Yeah.
And then like we became friends. We talk on Discord, play games, yada yada. Flash forward like a year, and he's like, "Yo, man, like I want to start a content house." And I was like, "Sure, I'm in." And that's pretty much it. I didn't know anybody except for him and Billy, because I had like loved Billy's content. He's like a very creative individual, and everyone else was literally no idea who they were. So like we came into the house and we just started hitting it off, and the rest is history, I suppose.
Yeah, I really like Billy's videos a lot. And I actually saw Polo Boys like when he got interviewed by a sink.
Yeah.
I like I already knew a little bit, but I didn't know your side of how you met them. So
Yeah,
definitely.
most of them knew each other from like conventions, and like
Yeah.
TikTokers are normally like super close. YouTube's like very like your own lane type thing for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of the YouTubers are like that. Cavos is like that. He doesn't have any friends on YouTube, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys come up with the name for that? Because it seems really simple, but I'm guessing it took like a while to get that name, didn't it? Or
No, so it was like
how?
me, Will, Tyler, and Billy on a call. And this was like when Will's like going through the list of people he wants to invite. And he mentioned Polo Boy. And like I had like I'd probably seen Polo Boy's content, but I was like scrolling through it and like I made a joke. I was like, bro, like literally not a single person was looking forward to the Polo Boy ANTHPO collab. Like every person on the planet, like not a single person was like, yo, man, like I can't wait for the Polo Boy ANTHPO collab. And then like I was like, yeah, they're like, this is literally the house that nobody asked for. And then like I said something like that, and then from there, like that was the idea. And Polo said it in his interview too, but like we had other name
Yeah,
ideas too, or like Waffle House or like the Rat
Waffle
Home.
House.
We were gonna call ourselves the Hype House too, just because we thought it was like funny. But like I think the house
Yeah.
nobody asked for is a good like summation of it all, because like we came in not knowing each other, nobody knew us to like be collaborative with one another, and then we left and it's like we all did really cool stuff. And I think it's cool because we ended like at a point where everybody did kind of want the house, and we're like, no, like we're the house nobody asked for. So
Yeah. So you mentioned about the Hype House 2 thing. That kind of reminds me of in 2017 when like the Clout House, they were originally called Team 11 as a joke. So that kind of reminded me of that.
I didn't even know that. Wow, look at that.
Yeah. I don't know where I heard it, but it was going to be originally called that. I did see it. So what was the video do you think blew you up?
Ooh, that's tough. So like I've blown up a few times, and I think it's like I mean, I've done so many different things. For my
Yeah.
personal brand, there was like two strings of videos. Like when I first started, within the first month of me uploading, I had hit 200K. Just because like I kind of knew what to do. Like I knew exactly what type of videos I knew would blow up. So I just made them. So it was like 4 videos I made in high school. It's like harassing people with Fat Yoshi, megaphone compliments. Like I just like up like a king. And
Yeah.
I just knew like deep down, I was like, these are like the greatest string of videos I'll ever make. And I still think they are. Like those 4 videos, like no context, just like thumbnails, titles included, like are without a doubt some of the greatest content I'll ever make.
I was watching
Um,
some of them a couple like 30 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, and I was laughing so hard.
oh, thank you. But that was probably the most subs I've gained. Like I think there was a day where I gained like 85K subs. And I mean it makes sense. Like I was brand new, like it's an interesting like series. Like there was
Yeah.
a lot of reasons. So that was the first thing. And then like after I did that, like I understood the formula. And so I've just been trying to get better making content. And then recently, my next biggest thing was the avatar thing. which has been my biggest subs gain. Like cumulatively, that series has gained me, I think, like 350K subs.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, so that series was huge. And I think at the end of the day, it was just timing. Like Avatar was like booming, and I was like, I gotta make something with it. And I used the NAF people. That was like kind of where we started. Was like, and honestly, that's what a good chunk of people know us for. Like Billy and Will went to Hot Topic one day, and like the cashier was like, "Oh my gosh, you're Sokka and Zuko." Like that's the funniest thing to me. Like that some people don't even know the NAF; they just know like the Avatar. Like makes me so happy.
That's so funny. So your videos look pretty simple to record, but I'm guessing they're not simple to record and edit. So what's the process of that?
I'm still working on it. The green screen parody skits are so hard. Because I
I can
have to,
imagine.
yeah, especially when it's just me, because like I have to film out of order technically, like film one character all the way through, next character all the way through, and then like
Yeah.
splice them in between. And the hardest part, without a doubt, is trying to figure out angles, because like I don't have any like context as to where I should be looking, and where, like, if I'm talking to a character this way, the other character has to be looking this way at like the exact same angle, otherwise it looks weird. And then I have to find the background and write this. It's a lot, and it's different every time. Like something I'm gonna start doing is going into like Gary's mod and like taking screenshots, because it's way easier than just going on Google.
Yeah.
It's different every time, but I would say mainly the most pre-production work I can do, the best. So if I can kind of get all the planning out beforehand instead of trying to fix it in post, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, and I'm guessing it's a lot easier when you're filming with someone like Billy, because like he's like someone that can tell you, actually, instead of this angle, maybe try this angle. So
Yeah,
that
it's a
definitely
lot
helps
easier
a
when you
lot.
have someone who's a content creator on the green
Yeah.
screen. Yeah.
So TikTok or YouTube, which do you prefer? Or Instagram, in between
Ooh,
those three.
they have their perks. I mean, obviously
Definitely.
YouTube is way better for like sustaining an audience, you know, having like revenue come in, building a fan base. I would say YouTube is
Yeah.
best at everything other than like community. TikTok is really good at community making, for like a content creator perspective. Like all the
Yeah.
TikTokers I know each other. Like that's just how it is. Like on YouTube, it's like there's no like way to meet people
Some
unless
of them
you
are lone
reach out.
wolves.
Yeah, lone wolves. That's a huge thing on YouTube. Um, and TikTok is really good at starting. Like anybody can get a platform on TikTok. There is no
Yeah.
barrier to entry. Like you can make a TikTok and get 100K. Like just one TikTok and get 100K. But again, like, does that mean anything necessarily? Like, if everyone has 100K followers, does anyone have 100K followers? That's the whole
Yeah.
dilemma there. But TikTok, I tell all content creators, I'm like, before you try to make YouTube videos, like make TikToks, because they're easy. They do blow up. Like you'll gain a following,
Yeah.
you'll start to understand it. And then Instagram is just for fun. Like they're terrible at monetizing and the algorithm sucks, but it's a fun platform. So
Yeah. And the thing about TikTok, it's like you said, it's so easy to blow up, because one of my friends, she blew up by like doing a WAP video, but it was like singing the words, but like every bad word was bleeped out. And it got like 1.2 million views. And it
yeah.
was like the dumbest things go viral on TikTok, which is something I have noticed. And yeah, definitely, it is very easy to get a big following on there. There's a ton of people I can think of that promote their stuff on TikTok, and because of TikTok, they get millions or hundreds of thousands of followers because of TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's only to get bigger, obviously. So like
Yeah.
I think YouTube is kind of like the adult platform now, kind of like the cable TV was. And
Yeah.
TikTok is kind of like the new YouTube, like 2011 YouTube. So it's to each their own, I guess, you know, formulate your
Definitely.
own opinion.
Yeah. So since you said you like prefer YouTube a lot, what's your favorite thing about YouTube and least favorite thing about YouTube?
Oh, I'll start with my least favorite thing because I know that right off the top of my head. Their creator support is terrible. They're so bad.
Yeah.
Um, like for instance, like my second channel got denied for monetization because it's called not ANTHPO. So I assume that they don't think it's me, but it is me. And I was probably on
That's
creator support chat for like 15 hours to nothing, no
my
avail.
God.
They're Do you have issues with? You ever talk to YouTube or anything?
I did it once because of like I got a false copyright strike that
Mm,
still hasn't been removed, and it's so annoying. But yeah, I did it once, and it took a while to respond. And I know a lot of different YouTubers. This YouTuber, like, it took 6 months for him to get a reply. But recently I've seen that sometimes they reply pretty quickly, and
mm.
I've been seeing, but yeah.
Yeah, they could be a lot better. Like the only reason I say that now is because like I've talked to TikTok a few times, especially like with FNAF involvement. Like we would have calls with TikTok, and they're so like responsive. Like by no means are we enormous TikTokers. Like FNAF was just big for like our demographic.
Mhm.
We're no like hype house who reaches hundreds of millions of people, but we're big for our demographic. But like
Yeah.
uh TikTok was acting like we got like silver platter treatment. Super, they'd answer all the questions, get back to us immediately. And YouTube, it's like I'm a pretty big creator on YouTube, I'd like to say, and I kind of get
Yeah.
the short end of the stick a lot of the time. So
Mhm.
that being said, on YouTube, I do like the algorithm. Weirdly enough, I don't think it's perfect,
Mhm.
but if your video is good, it will perform well. And I feel like people
Mhm.
misconstrue that and they're like, oh, like the YouTube algorithm hates me. And it's like, no, like you're probably just not making good content, which is
Yeah.
fine. But like, like for me, like it took me like 600 videos, like until I really figured out what I wanted to do. I did it. And then the videos do well. But that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
if you know the YouTube algorithm, you can totally play with it. And that's kind of what I like about it.
Yeah, I've been noticing recently if like you have one good video and other people watch your other videos, that pushes the first video they watched. I've been
Yeah.
noticing that. So it's like now more getting people to binge watch your content. I've been noticing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So what do you think is your biggest accomplishment so far on like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram?
I would say, oh my gosh, voice crack. I would say that my biggest accomplishment is the fact that I've kind of blown up more than once. Because the first time I ever blew up on the internet, there's always haters and they're like, oh, like one hit wonder, like enjoy your 15 minutes of fame. And I'm like, oh geez, like now I kind of got to prove them wrong. And so I'd say there's been like 6 times in the past 3 years where I've like significantly gained a following or like, created something that's, garnered notoriety. And I feel like that alone is like much more impressive than having a video get 20 million views.
Mhm.
Between like talk show, my personal brand, FNAF, my personal brand again, like those four like alone, and then like viral videos here and there. Like my second channel just had a video get like 2 million views in like 3 days. And I've gained a bunch of subs from that. Like just basically like it's proof to myself that like I'm not just like a one hit wonder, and like I do
Yeah.
have substance I can kind of provide to the internet. That has been the best feeling, I guess. Like getting a million subs is like, wow, that's cool. But like I think something crazy like 3,000 channels hit a million subs in 2020.
Yeah,
So
which is insane.
yeah, right. It's like so many.
And yeah, like I've noticed a lot of people's second channels sometimes do better than their main channels.
Hmm.
Like KSI's main channel doesn't do so well anymore, and the second channel does so much better. So it's so weird,
Exactly.
and a lot of people, their second channel has either more subscribers or like does better, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah. So was there a specific way like you learned how to edit and do all that stuff? Because I know a lot of people I've interviewed kind of learned that by themselves by just playing around. That's how I learned also. So I want to know if that's kind of the same for you or if you took some classes or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I'm a bit of a different case, I guess. I went to a film high school. So freshman year, instead of going to like a school where I'd learn about like chemistry and like history and all that, I went to a school where I took film classes and information technology classes. Granted, I didn't learn a lot of filmmaking there, but being surrounded by those types of people pushed me to like go home and like make a bunch of YouTube videos,
I
gaming
can
videos.
imagine.
Yeah, so that was the main thing. Like that's kind of why I started the internet stuff, because I had a group of friends who wanted to make something. It wasn't that like, in my film class, the teacher was like, go out and spend 10 hours a day editing and stuff like that. But that was probably the first push. And on top of that, I loved making videos for my friends. So like we'd play Minecraft or like Gmod for like 10 hours straight, and I would record it all and then make like fun edits just to like show my friends.
Yeah.
And once you realize you enjoy editing itself, like you're unstoppable. If you actually enjoy editing, you cannot lose in the YouTube space. Worst case
Yeah.
scenario, you just become an editor. But like, I mean, like I like wholeheartedly enjoy making content because I enjoy editing. So it's hard for me not to just keep making.
I also like love editing, but like I didn't actually learn editing until like 2 years ago, because before I was like 8, 9 years old, where I would upload 1 hour long Minecraft videos with me and my friends, no editing. I was just cut the beginning, cut the end, and that's it. And now like I kind of sometimes do like those funny moments videos with my friends too, and those videos are just so fun to edit. These podcasts are so fun to edit. I've noticed I love editing very recently.
Yeah, that's great. And you're way ahead of the game. Like again, I didn't learn until I was like really learn how to edit until I was like approaching 16.
Yeah. So this is the last question.
Oh my goodness.
Do you have any advice for upcoming YouTubers?
Yeah, I would say the best advice I could give is start making content that you can create a lot of. And it kind of goes back to like the one-hit wonder type thing. If you make a video just to have it go viral, it's hard to kind of keep recreating those types of videos, because it's like you have to keep one-upping yourself and one-upping yourself, one-upping yourself. And eventually you're like Mr. Beast and you're giving away like $100,000 to like random people on the streets.
Yeah.
So on top of that, make the videos you love. And again, like make sure you can recreate those videos. And again, like everyone has a different story on YouTube, and that's kind of the fun part of it. On TikTok, I'd say it's a little different because a lot of people do just, one video after another, they blow up, yada, yada. But YouTube is very different, and everyone has their own success story. But I would say don't go into it trying to be famous. Go into it making the best content you can. And then you'll realize like, oh, like, I think if I change this title and like change the wording here, like, I think people will like actually enjoy this. And then you release it, and then it gets like 1,000 views, and you're like, oh my God, I'm famous.
That was my reaction when one of my recent videos got 1,000, because my average is like 100. And like when my podcast got like 1,000 views, I'm kind of like excited, but I'm like, it's my podcast. Like I kind of expect that, I'm interviewing some pretty cool people, and my videos was just me. And when one of those gets 1,000 views, I get like so excited. So yeah,
that's incredible. It's a great feeling. And again, like if it's a video that you put your heart into, like it feels so much better. Like a video that you cared about making and you cared about uploading, when that does well, it's completely different from when just like, you try to like cash in on some drama, or like, just try to make a video to have it go viral, whatever. And that's the best advice I could give, probably.
That is some amazing advice. But before we end, is there anything you want to promote, like your social medias or anything you're doing?
No, I would say if you want to watch my content, watch my content. But more importantly, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Best channel on YouTube.
Yes. Best interviews.
Best interviews. Yeah, I don't got anything to promote.
All right. Thank you so much, Anthony, for coming on the podcast. This really means a lot. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Nicocast.